Hello, I'm Brendan Collado, and I believe that everybody should try gaming because I believe that it holds something for that everybody can enjoy and really get into. And I believe for the first reason, and the most obvious, is that it's because there's such broad genre of games to play. For instance, there's first person shooters, there's strategy games where you micromanage armies, and there's racing games and puzzle solving games. There's all kinds of games for everybody to get into and that can suit their own needs. And to iterate this even further is even within its own genre, there are further subgenres, such as Titanfall and Halo 5, where they both belong to the FPS genre, which is first person shooter, except Titanfall is a online only game where you face other people from around the world or competitively, whereas Halo, while it does have the online mode, it also has a story mode where it focuses on a rich campaign first person mode where you play out as a character and you progress through a story much like a movie would. So while they belong to the same overarching genre, they have their own subgenre that, or rather, they have different parts about them that kind of define them differently, even though once again that they belong to an overarching genre, which ties and that kind of helps suits the need of the player, and then that ties into the fact that I believe that video games are also highly entertaining and addictive when you want them to be, and given the right game. What I mean by that is further driving this point home. Games need to be need to suit the player, and vice versa. For instance, games have different qualities about them that players will enjoy, such as The Walking Dead, Telltale games. It takes place in the Walking Dead universe, the hit TV show, but the player makes choices as the main character, and those choices affect the rest of the game. And it's very story driven, and the things that you do will change how people react to you, how they talk to you, how they feel about you. It's just a complete story driven game, very rich and emotional. Whereas games like Dark Souls, uh, they're more, while it has a fantastic and rich story, it also has unique gameplay that almost no other game has, as well as a multiplayer to go along with it. So it just kind of depends on what the player wants in their game, and every game has for something for everybody where they can find what they want, and what game will suit their needs. And then on top of that, every game, or many games anyway, maybe not every game, are very immersive. Games have this ability to kind of wrap you into their world, and give you the feeling like you're almost really there. Um, and it can do that through the story, where you choose, or it just kind of takes you into the lore of the world, or the gameplay, or the amazing visuals, which leads me to my next point: is the amazing visuals. Is what makes video games highly entertaining, especially with the later years. These recent years have been fantastic for video game graphics, and this picture isn't an in-game picture, but this game, especially Horizon Zero Dawn, is an absolutely beautiful and stunning game to play. Amazing gameplay on top of it, but the visuals are something to be marveled at. It's almost like in movies when you have those really awesome CGI cutscenes. It's like you're playing one long, drawn out cutscene. It's just a fantastic medium to look at. It's just very beautiful. And then my third point is that video games are relaxing. I don't think people would play them if they weren't. They're very fun, but they can also be a great way to have some downtime. While some games are very competitive and all about high function, like high mind functioning activity, some games are just sit down, play mindlessly, and just enjoy doing whatever you want. You don't really have to think about anything. You can just do whatever you want, have some fun. But on the flip side, you could also not do that. And, you know, it sounds almost counterproductive, but sometimes sitting in front of your screen for about 2 hours and screaming at it because of just what's going on can be kind of relaxing in the end after a long day's work. After a long day's work, and you come home frustrated, it can be nice to just sit down and relax and get all that out by playing a game. Um, my next, and then finally, video games are very relaxing and cathartic through the progression systems that many of them have. Getting through a tough level or just leveling up in general, your character will gain experience in certain games and leveling up and getting new abilities. That can be very rewarding and relaxing and fulfilling even. So I think that is another fantastic way for certain people. Certain people enjoy this mechanic very much, and it can feel very good in accomplishment and very prideful. And then finally, I think games are educational. They can teach you things. Most of them are skills, but some of them can also be just facts and a slew of other things. So to begin, the most common and I think the most impactful is teamwork or just social skills in general. Most games these days, especially, have a online capability where you can play with other players, like either with them against the computer AI or against other players. And this allows for you to talk with other players to get a strategy or to just overall just have a good time and just talk and make some friends. So it can teach you the teamwork skills where you talk to other players and you might give call outs or you might like once again like talk about strategy and learn those teamwork skills or just in general talk to other people, make friends and all that. The next skill that I believe it teaches is problem solving skills, such as Portal. Portal is one of the most well known games in recent history where you have a portal gun and you use those portals to solve intricate puzzles in kind of an out of the box type of way. And I definitely think that video games can do that in so many ways, but this is a prime example. As once again, you have to play with portals and get to the end of the level through that mechanic alone. And it can be very interesting and very fun to do. And I think all video games have kind of a similar way of doing this. And then thirdly, I believe that video games can teach you reaction skills in certain situations. And what I mean by this is, say, for a fighting games such as Street Fighter, you have to be very fast paced with what you're doing. As fighting games are very fast paced, you have to know when to block or when to attack or when to do a certain move or when to jump. And in these games, like I said, they are very fast paced. So if you're too slow, you will get hit or you can lose. So by learning reaction skills and learning a faster reaction, you can therefore be better at them, essentially. So I think that is definitely something they teach, and not only in fighting games, but also in many other games. Because if you just simply don't learn the reaction timing to things, you just can't simply achieve what the game wants you to. So that is definitely something. And finally, I think video games can actually teach you educational things such as history or math or English. And while I think mostly math and English can be taught during, those early childhood games. One of my favorite examples for a more advanced educational benefit for adults is history through Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed takes place during many timelines, going all the way back from American Revolution, Industrial Revolution, ancient Egypt, and many other time periods. And throughout all of them, you get to see actual historical figures and the cities of that time and how the people dressed and talked and interacted with one another. And in each game, there's also a kind of like encyclopedia almost of things that you can find, of things that you can find. And it'll tell you a brief or even lengthy description about that person or place or item or what have you. And I've honestly learned a lot about certain places and things just from these games alone. So I absolutely believe that games can be educational on top of that. And so all of this combined, I believe that video games offer a well-rounded experience for everybody to enjoy. Um, and that's it. Thank you for listening.